All right, let's get you the next installment of our magical journey down the River Nile. Let's see what the team has in store for us today from Cairo. We now go live to CCTV's Penina Karibe. She's standing by for us in Cairo. Hi there, Penina. Good to see you again. What do you have in store for us today?
Oh, Beatrice, a very interesting show. We're live in Giza. This is where we have the Great Pyramids, and it's been a remarkable journey. We're now on the 5th day of our continuing special series on the River Nile. We began this journey down in Aswan, that's the south of Egypt, and that is where the Nile enters the country from Sudan. We moved on up to Luxor and we took a ride down the Valley of Kings and Queens. That's where the great leaders of ancient Egypt were buried. We went to Delta, that's the food basket of Egypt, and finally we're at the home of the Great Pyramids. I am joined by Mohammed, my colleague. It's a pleasant evening, Mohammed, isn't it?
It is indeed, Penina. Good evening to you, good evening to all our viewers. We're right here in the Mina house. At the background we can see at daylight, we can see the Great Pyramid of King Khufu. The Mina house was originally built by Khedive Ismail, former ruler of Egypt, as a hunting lodge during his hunting trips. It was also used as guest house for him, as well as his guests was widely used during the opening of the Suez Canal. Did you know all these informations?
Yeah, I got to know a bit of it, but I also knew about the famous guest list because this hotel has had quite a lot of high-profile guests here. We're talking about the Prince of Wales, that's Prince Albert. We're talking about Empress Eugenie, and of course, Agatha Christie, the one who penned the movie Death on the Nile.
Exactly, Agatha Christie was here, and it was also on the old cataract in Aswan. Seems to be the connection between here and Aswan. Anyway, Yasser Hakim will take us into a very special race now. A race between a car on the ground and a boat down the stream of the Nile. Who will win? Let's see.
The pyramids are primarily made of sandstone, which is abundant in this area. However, certain parts of the structures, such as the inner sanctum, required the builders to use the hardest possible stone in order to keep them secure. This meant granite. But the closest source was Aswan, almost 1,000 kilometers to the south. Hani Darwish has been working here at Giza on the outskirts of Cairo for 18 years. He is among the city's most accomplished experts on the pyramids. So how did they transport the granite?
They transported by Nile, by boat in Nile, the strong cedar boat from Lebanon. There are the harbor here, there are the branches here of the Nile, and this harbor near the very temple of Khafre.
So it's just in front of the Sphinx?
Yeah.
The water was passing by
all
through
this area. Okay, and the branches from 5,000 years ago until 200 years ago.
It was all covered with water.
Yeah, there are branches of the Nile here.
There are plenty of options for transportation here in Cairo, but the Nile beats them all. And we're going to prove it today because we're going to have a race. The river against the road. Yasser against my friend Adil. How are you, man?
Well, I wouldn't be that confident, Yasser, because if you take a look at the road, it seems quite clear, and in this long distance,
I believe the Nile wins every time, and I'm going to bet on that. We have a race from here until the Lions Bridge, Qasr Nil Bridge.
Are you up to it?
I'm up to it.
Deal.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Let's go. Much better than the usual. We're almost halfway there, so I think we might win. It depends on the second half, and that's always crowded.
God, it's so slow. I mean, where's the wind? هي مالها بطيئة كده النهارده.
He's telling me that the wind, there's no wind today, so he can't really move that fast.
But whilst the wind hasn't yet filled my sails, Adil's finally run into Cairo's legendary traffic.
It will be very crowded. Not many Egyptian drivers respect the law. And for example, this street, it should be only 2 lanes, but as you see, even our taxi driver is moving in the middle and the 3rd lane.
The winds finally started to pick up, and that gives me a chance to get back in the race. With no traffic to contend with, I'm there in minutes. But Adil is not far behind. Hopefully arriving by boat means I can draw up closer.
I'm here. Where's Adil? Ready to jump in the Nile?
I don't have my swimming suit.
So even now, the Nile is the best way to travel.
Let me take you to drink.
Yeah, please.
You need one.
There's quite a debate here just a few moments ago on who won, and obviously one of the colleagues here said, one of the crew here said, the Nile always wins. I mean, really, Adil just didn't stand a chance with that crazy traffic of Cairo. What's been your experience like in the streets, Mohammed?
Well, I would say that Cairo is like any major capital city around the world with traffic jam. And when it comes to traffic jam, you can stop there for like an hour. I once was trapped in a traffic jam for more than 90 minutes, and I was going and rushing for my work. I seriously thought of leaving my car in the middle of the street and just walking out away.
And you thought that would have been faster than just waiting for traffic to open up?
What to do, yes.
Well, we've been getting some comments from social media on what people think really, as a one way of decongesting the city. Should we look towards our waterways? And we have a comment here from Kabugo Shaban who says, I prefer water to road because it's very cheap. And I remember, Mohammed, you did mention that you have water taxes here in Egypt. Just how pricey are they compared to, of course, the vehicles?
I would say it's cheaper than vehicles on the road, on the regular road.
Right.
If it would take like £20 for one way, in water Nile taxi, it would take like £10.
All right. And then we have a comment from Boniface Maduko who says, road transportation for now remains the best because it's cheaper than the air and faster than the water. And obviously, watching that report, you understand what Boniface is talking about. It's way, way faster to use the Nile.
Exactly. Is it the same way in Kenya?
Yeah, it is. But people in Kenya do not use water because it's faster. Usually you find this practice, especially in rural places where there's no proper infrastructure. So a lot of people would just prefer to hop into a boat and just, move from one place to another.
Okay, let's get more from the social media. Jeremy Al-Hamadou, road transport is safer than water transport. Do you agree with that?
I mean, if you look at the statistics we have of road accidents every year, then yeah, you would absolutely agree with what he says.
Yes, I agree with you. Let's go to Yacht Garang. I prefer water because water has not much deadly accidents. Again, talking about deadly accidents, especially in South Sudan. I would say there are some troubles in South Sudan when it comes to road accidents, serious road accidents there.
Well, that's because the road network is not well done, really. So obviously we don't have a proper infrastructure in South Sudan, so it would make sense what he's talking about.
Yes. And last, we have Henry Marvelous saying, I would prefer water. It doesn't cost much and it doesn't pollute the environment. Talking of polluting the environment, we were talking much about this here in Cairo. Do you think it could be a proper way for solving the problem of transportation across the continent of Egypt?
Yeah, the country
of Cairo,
of Egypt, of course.
Africa, I mean.
If we would invest, in our waterways, then obviously it would be one way of decongesting the cities.
Okay, let's now go and see Cairo at night with Famida and her plenty and lots of things to do at Cairo at night.
sun goes down, the neon lights come on, and Cairo comes out to play. There's no end of choices if you want a night out on the river. In Cairo, partying on the Nile is part of everyday life. My guide for the night is journalist Nada Barakat. She's lived in Cairo all her life and knows the best places on the river to visit. Nada, the atmosphere is unbelievable out here on the Nile. There are tons of boats with beautiful lights. We hear the music blaring. What do people do on a night out on the Nile?
They take a boat, have some food on it. Sometimes they take their friends along, go with many things. People have the birthdays. Sometimes for people who cannot afford a hall for a wedding or something, or a big venue, they just rent a small boat and they have the wedding on it.
Apart from locals, I'm sure that the Nile is also very important in the tourism industry. It's very attractive to tourists as well.
Definitely. It's a big spot for tourists, especially those from Gulf countries and the Arab region. They come for it all the time, and they love to rent boats and to take them for dinner. Actually, it tours a very long distance in Cairo. It can take you to half Cairo by the Nile.
At its height, more than 1 million tourists came to Egypt each month, collectively spending more than $12 billion a year. This river, this nightlife, was one of the reasons they came. It's not always clear what people are celebrating. At times, it seems it's enough to be young, Egyptian, and on the river.
Egyptians are active and lively by nature. They want everything to celebrate everything. They might just be like celebrating someone's passing an exam, or someone dating a new girl, or someone being engaged. We have all sorts of celebrations. We celebrate everything every time.
Neon-lit party boats like these navigate the Nile throughout the night, while boat restaurants line the riverside. Here, much of the menu is tailored for tourists. But what's the classic local dish? For that, you need to step away from the river. How much would a cup of hummus cost?
Okay. يا حاج كوباية الحمص عندك بكام؟
How much is he saying?
He said between 5 to 10, he said 7.5 pounds, but it's actually for 5 pounds or 10 pounds.
So it should be about less than $1 for a cup
Definitely,
of hummus.
one for 70 cents and the other is for $1.
And is it a major business for vendors? Is food really a big business in Cairo?
Street food is a real serious kind of business for Egyptians. It's all over town, it's all over the country as well.
Hummus soup is a great street snack, but Nada has something more substantial in mind for dinner. This is El Rifai, one of the most popular restaurants in the city. The menu is very basic, but this place is really quiet. Its reputation for some of the best kebabs in Cairo is probably why. That's good. It's well worth the wait. This place has also been really busy through the night. I understand that it's very much a place where not just the community, but people from all parts of Cairo come to.
Exactly, and it gets busier and busier as the night gets in. After midnight, usually famous football players, celebrities come over, and everyone can come for here because it's affordable, it's nice. As you know, it serves very good kebabs. It's unlike any other place in Egypt.
In one night, I've managed to pack just a few of the Nile's many attractions. But I've run out of time, as the rising sun calls time on the festivities. At least for now.
Cairo is full of life and energy at night, as you can see. Kebab, kofta and koshari are very famous dishes here in Egypt. Penina, have you tried any of them?
I have. I've had the Egyptian bread, but I'm not really a fan of bread, so I would pass on that. I've tried kebab, but what really got me hooked is the koshari. Oh, Mohammed, I just can't get enough of that.
This is like the typical Egyptian food that every Egyptian would eat anytime.
And you still owe me the recipe of kushari, so please.
Definitely.
All right, so it's a wrap for us, at least on day 5 of this incredible journey along the Nile. And we're coming closer to the end. Tomorrow we shall take you close to the Mediterranean Sea, where amidst all this salt, there is something sweet being produced there. You shall find out tomorrow what that is. Well, thanks very much for watching. For now, it's back to you, Beatrice.
All right, Penina, thank you indeed. We look forward to tomorrow's edition on the incredible Nile. Penina and Mohammed for us there in Cairo. Thank you.